I got an email recently and the title of it was Sunderland, a City Reborn. And the email went like this. Hello, Mr. Turnip. I'm a 37-year-old man and I've been a Sunderland resident my entire life. I witnessed the tail end of Sunderland's fall from grace, whose workforce used to be predominantly down the pits or in the shipyards. What followed was the inevitable slow death of the high street, and soon Sunderland was full of boarded up shops. Fast forward to today though, and the city has record levels of investment, loads of big employees moving to the city centre, and music and art has never looked brighter than it does now in Sunderland. If this has piqued your interest, get in touch and I'll give you a tour. So it did pique my interest, and I've come up to meet this guy called Phil, who's going to give me a tour of Sunderland. So let's go do it, let's go meet him and see the city. Is it a city reborn? Phil, nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, good to see you.
How are you doing? Thank you for inviting me up.
Yeah. No worries, no worries.
Right, so yeah, show me your Sunderland.
Okay.
I'm interested. Whatever you've got to show me, I'm super keen. So
yeah, no worries. I think, well, it's a good place to start here because, you know, one of the themes of today is really going to be like the cultural sort of pillar that's going to be propping up Sunderland's future, or that's the plan. So around the music scene and stuff like that. So we're outside a Pop Rex here, which is a cultural hub where they host gigs and stuff like that. They do like monthly markets and stuff like that. And over the road here, we've got a picture, a mural of a Sunderland singer-songwriter who sadly passed away fairly recently, called Faith Fantaro.
So why are you stuck on my mind? Lonely, I'm so very lonely.
She was so good.
When did she pass away then?
It was last year.
Oh really?
And you know, there was a big outcry in the community to raise some money, try and get her to America for some treatment, but it ended up, you know, she ended up passing away, and it was very sad. But the council gave the go-ahead for this mural to go up, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, nice, you know? That. Oh yeah, nice.
It's like that attitude that the council seem to have taken recently on stuff in Sunderland, of like, you know, if it's cool and people might like it, then, and it's not an issue, then they'll do it, they'll say yes, you know. And I'll show you loads of different examples around the city centre of that, and how I feel like that is like contributing to this like change in the city. Yeah, I'm 37, was born here. I moved away for 4 or 5 years, lived in Hartlepool, missed the place, had to come back really. Didn't realise how much I missed the place until you do, you know. I mean, you know, the last shipyard closed in the 80s, and the last colliery shut down around then as well. And the industries that I do remember, because obviously I was like 2 or 3 back then when them shut, but the industries that I do remember, there was a big brewery on the other side of town, which will show you how that's been redeveloped. There was glass making as well. Hopefully we'll have time to go to the National Glass Centre, which is just over the river.
Oh yeah, sick.
And you can learn some of the history about that. But all this just disappeared like in the space of, I mean, it was a gradual decline for the 2 big industries of shipyard and mining, but it all just kind of disappeared in the space of 10 years, something like that. And then it left Sunderland in a bit of a rut.
Look at that. So using my favourite Google Street View trick, we can go back in time and see this place going all the way back to 2012, I think. This was empty. So if anyone remembers getting the haircut at John's hairdressing services, do let me know.
There's big dominoes around the city that sort of fell in terms of the high street and retail, and some of them didn't get replaced, but you'll see that a lot of it is getting replaced and reused and knocked down and rebuilt. Yeah. And that's what's given rise to this whole sort of positivity around the place at the minute, you know. Alright, so this was like probably the first major domino that fell retail wise, at least that I can remember in my lifetime. I used to come in here, it used to be a big department store in Sunderland, Joplin's. Used to come in here with my dad on a Saturday, just get bits and pieces for the house. When I was little, this closed down, and now it's luxury student accommodation, so at least it's being used.
Yeah, so they've actually done something with it at least,
yeah,
instead of just leaving it.
But this was the first big department store.
The first one that went.
Yeah, to my knowledge anyway.
Yeah. Just a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Holy. Now, I first got sent this stuff when I was training for Manchester Marathon, and I used it throughout my entire training block, and I came out with a cool 3 hours 23 minutes. So I thought, let's go try it again. Let's get down to a local 5k run. I'm going to take the energy drink and let's see how we get on. Holy is super simple to use. You can take it anywhere. You mix it, you shake it, you enjoy it, and in my case today, you head to the start of a race. You can see me there in my orange and black. So Holy is full of loads of great stuff. It's full of vitamins, there's no sugar, it's got great natural flavours, and look at me absolutely flying here. I felt like I had so much energy right to the end. Right, there we go, amazing. I felt so good the whole way around. And the other great thing about Holy as well, they've got these hydration sachets. So, and I'm really proud as well because I've just checked the result. I came second, it was a 5k, I ran 19:16, so I think that's absolutely class. So I'm gonna have my hydration sachet. And the other good thing is, they're not just for when you're doing exercise. I've started to have one of the energy ones instead of like my second coffee of the day. So do check out Holy. So look for the link below. You got 2 codes. You got 10% off your order with code TURNIP or £5 off your first order with TURNIP5. There's loads of products to check out, so go and give Holy a try.
Yeah, the crux of it is, well, okay, there's no shops. What other reason is there for people to be in the town centre, the city centre? I feel like Sunderland's found its reason now, you know, and they're building that as the years go on, and they've got a big 10-year plan to do it. So, and the early signs are that it's happening. So that used to be a big bookshop called Hills years ago, and that was empty for the longest time. And again, that's been repurposed into a like art community coffee shop centre thing. You'll see there's so many like little hubs like that around the city centre where the huge communities just grown out of in terms of supporting art and music and stuff like that. So we're going up here.
Pedestrianised a bit.
Yeah. So this is Blandford Street, one of the oldest streets in Sunderland.
This is here.
Yeah. You can see it's got those like hallmarks of a struggling high street, like full of like charity stores and stuff like that, cash converters.
Yeah.
We want to see it redeveloped, but I think there'll be a few people who are like, it's sad to see it go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's necessary, it really is. And that whole like outlook is common, I think. Like, I was speaking to me dad and his brothers and stuff like a few months ago about the changes in the city centre, and they're still of the opinion of, you need to get the shops back in, you know, get the units filled up and that. And it's like, it's never going to happen. You need to find other reasons for people to be in these areas.
Got Mason's Amusements down there.
Yeah, all this is going to come down.
So all this is the stuff that's coming down then?
It will, yeah. I mean, it's earmarked for redevelopment now. Whether the plans are actually in motion or not is another thing, but eventually it will come down.
Yeah. I guess it is just taking that decision, isn't it? It's saying, look, let's just get rid.
Yeah, there is hard decisions to make. You know, the council's making them decisions. Some people's going to agree with them, some people's not. They're going to want to keep the shops. They're going to want to keep things the way they are, and I get it. And
I guess you can't really knock down this, can you?
Exactly, yeah.
The giant Debenhams.
I believe there was plans to turn that into student accommodation as well. I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure though on that.
How big's the student population up here then?
It's quite big actually.
Is there a uni here? Yeah.
There is, yeah. We'll have a look at one of the campuses later.
Well, yeah, maybe that will be turned into that. Who knows?
Hopefully you don't get collared.
I probably will do.
Yeah. Being a specifically retail-centric space, you'll be able to see the side effects of the decline in retail in here. There's closed units and stuff, but
I mean, when you lose Debenhams, that's one that brings a lot of people to these sort of centres.
Yeah. What we would do? I'm trying to think which way to go.
Pandora closed. This store is now closed. But yeah, as you say, it's just that acceptance that you've got to look beyond retail, which is nice to hear that you're speaking about that. And
there's loads of stuff going on here, lots of stuff to tell you about. So here, this space where there's nothing.
Yeah.
This used to be part of the Crow Tree Leisure Centre. There used to be like an ice rink and stuff.
Oh, really?
You know, people have any fond memories from the 80s or whatever of going ice skating there. I think it was still open actually when I was kicking about, but we lost that. And you can still see the roof of it there, that's still part of it. But there's now, I don't think there's anything goes on in there now. So this whole area is what the earmarking is, this cultural quarter.
Right, okay,
you know what I mean? So this is actually the old post office.
Oh yeah, that's a nice building, that, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some well good buildings around Sunderland.
So is that empty now?
I believe that's apartments now.
Oh, that's apartments?
Yeah, I almost got one actually.
Oh, really?
Before I ended up where I ended up.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit out of my price range.
Yeah, it'd be sweet that living in the old post office.
Because you can see like the streets around it are a bit old, but this all got redeveloped, so you've got like, you know...
They're beautiful though, those houses there though, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're so nice.
Yeah, these are the older old streets in Sunderland. But there's a lot of like cultural hubs around here now, so you've got the Rainbow Hub over there, you've got Diego's over there, which is one of my favourite places to go. And this is the British esports headquarters.
All right.
Yeah, so
like a gaming thing?
Yeah, so
cool.
these moved into the city last year. But this building, and I think 2 houses behind it uses gaming houses, so they rent them out to professional teams or whatever who come out here to boot camp before going to big tournaments and stuff like that.
Again, that's like an interesting way of revitalising the space, isn't it?
It is. It was seen as a big coup for Sunderland, actually, with the rise of sort of online gaming, esports as an industry.
And that's like something that shouldn't be overlooked, because I don't like esports. I think the average age of my viewer, I think's round about 60. So a lot of you might not know what esports is, but it's electronic gaming, isn't it? So it's like gaming together online.
Yeah, it's professional gaming. You know, it's like being a professional sportsman, but for computer games.
Yeah.
This building site here, where you can see from like that building there, all the way down there, that used to be Vog Breweries.
Vog Breweries.
Yeah, I always remember when I used to go into the football with my dad when I was little. We would walk along here over the river to Walker Park, the old football stadium, and you had the unmistakable smell of hops.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No way.
I'll never forget that smell. Used to walk past and smell the hops, as it was being brewed. And when Vog Brewery shut down, everyone was devastated because it was also a sponsor of the team.
Oh really?
Yeah, and so they shut the brewery down, and everyone was devastated by that. And then that became a question of what happens with that space.
Yeah. So
it must
massive space all the way.
Yeah, it must have been at least 20 years since the brewery shut down.
Wow.
So again, in that no man's land of what do we do now? It's only now where you can see things are happening. Yeah. So this is going to be the new local eye infirmary. That big car park at the back is new.
All right.
Again, cultural bars, houses and stuff, and other office buildings behind that. All those office buildings you see there, all new, brand new.
They're all new.
So a lot of them aren't even open yet.
Oh yeah, what's this? Sweet.
So the statue itself, the piece is called Gan Canny.
Gan
Canny. And so he used to deliver the beer in the wooden kegs on horse and cart.
No way.
I still remember seeing these around Sunderland actually when I was little.
Way.
Yeah. Gan canny with the sugar lad, when it's me that's got the reins. Don't want the streets of this old town awash with glass and beer stains. Don't want the old folk crying as the Samson swills the lanes. Don't want the young ones singing about double Maxim in the drains. Double Maxim was one of the beers that they used to produce.
Oh really? Yeah.
The artist who done that, actually, he's done a few things. Actually, it might be the same guy who done that one. You know the one in Horden?
Ray Lonsdale?
It might be, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's the same, I'm sure it's the same like style, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's another one in Seaham, just down the road.
Yeah.
Of
Tommy,
yeah?
Yeah. I wonder if it is.
Ray Lonsdale, yeah.
Oh yeah, created by Ray Lonsdale. No way. That's ace. I can't believe this. So this thing here was created by Ray Lonsdale, who in my Horden video, where I visited that old mine in town and there was a statue with his heart removed, created by the same artist. So that's so great that I've come across 2 now in my videos. In fact, my mum sent me a video the other day of Tommy in Seaham. She was in Seaham and she went, this is by Ray Lonsdale.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that is going to be huge.
So what's that that's coming? The film studio?
Yeah, so Crownwork Studios. It's going to be the second, I believe, biggest film studio in the UK after Pinewood. 12 sound stages. Huge coup for the city, absolutely massive. 2,000 people employed directly in Sunderland. 8,000 across the northeast. 22,000 across the entire supply chain. It's going to be absolutely huge.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. That will make it, I think, the second biggest employer in Sunderland after Nissan.
After Nissan?
Yeah. I didn't bring the magic. It's always been here. I just came back to find it.
So what's this fella's name? Bob Stoker. Sick.
Sunderland AFC manager. The man, the messiah, the moment.
That's class.
Before my time.
But means a lot to the people of Sunderland.
Oh yeah.
As the stadium does, as the team does.
Absolutely. I mean, back in the days when we had all the industry and the hard, the shipbuilding, the mines, those were hard jobs, and it wasn't an affluent place to live. You hear stories all the time. That was the one thing people look forward to in life, It's like they work hard all week to get the money together to go see the lads play on a Saturday. That was the highlight of the week,
Yeah.
So yeah, the stadium was built on the site of Monk Wearmouth Colliery, which was
oh really?
Yeah, so it was the old pit here.
No way. So this used to be the mine then?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
And actually we'll go over here and we'll see the miner's lamp.
Oh yeah. There we go, yeah.
So that's what the stadium was named after, the Stadium of Light, is referring to the light of a miner's lamp.
Sweet.
Can you even still read this? The Davy lamp. To light the way forward. This sculpture stands as a permanent tribute to the memory of all those men and their families who took part in traditional industries.
So yeah, a really nice reminder of the old industries that existed in Sunderland. The miners with the Davy lamps, and now the Stadium of Light named after that. That's great. Never knew that.
Yeah.
Some mad little robots. Yeah, you can just see the river there. It's a bit sketchy, and it does say steep slope. What is that? All them things there. That's like an artist.
Yeah, it is. A visionary artwork. It features 7 steel figures hauling giant coals from the bottom of the bank to the top. The group depicts the community spirit of the northeast region and the sense of camaraderie which bound them together through good times and bad. It symbolises hope and achievement and is a fitting reminder of the struggles of our forebears.
I feel like all this was obviously designed to look in a certain way, and yet somehow it feels more symbolic with it being totally overgrown. Feels like that's just how it was meant to look.
So the rivalry between Sunderland and Newcastle in football stems from the Civil War back in the day, you know, something to do with like the king granted exclusive rights. I don't know if it was for shipping or mining or something to Newcastle, and well, Sunderland had a big industry in it. So when the Civil War kicked off, Newcastle sided with the king and Sunderland sided with Oliver Cromwell. The Sunderland versus Newcastle is like one for the history books, you know what I mean?
Is it?
I mean, it's stupid, but you could ask probably both sets of fans, what if you were to lose every game but win one, which one do you win? It's that one, you know. They would probably take that trade, and this was, I think was the last time Sunderland beat Newcastle. It might have been 2015. Jermaine Defoe scored an absolute worldie.
Williamson and Fletcher go for it. Fletcher knocks it on, and what skill, what audacity to take on the strike.
Barclays Premier League adds the name of Jermaine Defoe.
Oh, it's a goal that will be remembered for a long, long time.
Just shout out Jermaine Defoe. He done a lot for Sunderland, and he was involved in a lot of charity stuff. There was a kid called Bradley Lowry, who again sadly passed away. We've done a lot of, Sunderland did a lot of fundraising for him and his family. Set up a foundation, Bradley Lowry Foundation.
Oh, nice.
And fair play, I'm sure Newcastle contributed to it, and a lot of other teams, Everton, shout out to them as well. They put a lot of money in. But Jermaine Defoe championed that.
Cool.
So good on him.
Is he a bit of a hero up here then? Yeah. We then took a trip to the National Glass Centre, where they do traditional glass blowing experiences. This was totally free, didn't have to pay anything for this, and just to watch this guy use traditional methods of making glass, it was absolutely mind-blowing. So on show here, another once dominant industry of Sunderland, and the really sad thing is, this glass centre is facing closure in 2026, which is terrible because this industry, it really has vanished. And then alongside that now, we're going to lose this place, which supports keeping this tradition alive. And once it's gone, it'll be another great British skill left for the history books. So in terms of like everything that's going on in the city that we've been looking at, how like hopeful are you feeling for it?
You've always got that, or I guess in the past there's always been that feeling of like, okay, well those are good plans, but is it going to happen? Like, will they actually get the money? Where's the funding going to come from?
And I've been to like a fair few places where they've kind of had stuff started and then you've just seen it just kind of slowly disappear.
The thing that gives us a bit more confidence is the fact that they've already delivered on a bunch of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the work's already been completed. I mean, down here at the seafront, it's basically all done now. You're seeing all the work already nearing completion in the city centre on a lot of areas. So it kind of gives us a bit more confidence that the rest of the plans that they've laid out, they're going to follow through on, you know. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm positive, actually, more than hopeful.
Nice. Best thing about being a YouTuber is you can go for a pint at 2:30 on a Tuesday. No one cares. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's good.
That is great. So there we go, another day out exploring a place. We're the local, and it was so interesting to hear that positivity around what is going on. And there is a lot going on. There's so much investment. You can see it happening all around the city. I just hope it comes to fruition. I hope I can return in 5 years' time and see that a lot of it has worked. Maybe because they lost all their industries so soon and the town fell, probably a lot quicker than other places in the country. They're ahead of the curve now because they've been willing to turn things into accommodation, into housing, into new industries which can give life to space. Sunderland's done a good job of that. So I said the best thing about being a YouTuber is getting to drink pints at 2:30 on a Tuesday, and whilst that is great, really the best thing is getting to meet all these incredible people from all around the country who invite me to their cities, give me tours, show me around. It's so good. So thank you to Phil, thank you for getting in touch and being such a good host. And good on you, Sunderland. I can't wait to return.